Banks are indispensable in modern society. But did you know that about 200 years ago, when silver served as currency in China, the prototype of modern banks emerged in Pingyao? These financial institutions, known as draft banks, provided services such as remote exchange, deposit, and withdrawal. They also had a unique anti-counterfeiting system to address the inconvenience and security risks associated with the circulation of silver. In their heyday, Pingyao draft banks spread not only throughout China, but also operated in other countries such as Mongolia, India, and Japan. Today, please follow Jiang Haoran with Xinhua News Agency to explore the legendary story of China's first draft bank. Looking around at these beautiful traditional Chinese folk houses, we are here in Pingyao, an ancient city in North China's Shanxi province. Renowned as a living sample of ancient Chinese cities, walking along the streets feels like traveling back to Ming and Qing dynasties several centuries ago. It's our pleasure to invite Mrs. Geng Yanfeng to guide us through this legendary city. 耿岛这座古城有什么特别之处呢？
这座古城以其保存完好的古建筑而闻名于世。1997年，联合国教科文组织将平遥古城列为世界文化遗产。
The ancient city of Pingyao is famous for its well-preserved architecture, and it was named a World Cultural Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1997.
平遥古城是中国汉民族城市在明清时期的杰出范例。平遥古城保存了其所有特征，而且在中国历史的发展中，为人们展示出了一幅非同寻常的文化、社会、经济及宗教发展的完整画卷。
It is an outstanding example of Han cities during Ming and Qing dynasty, spanning from the 14th to 20th century. It retains all the features of Han cities, providing a complete picture of cultural, social, economic, and religious development in Chinese history. Why was the ancient city of Pingyao regarded as China's Wall Street at that time? 为什么平遥古城被称作当时中国的华尔街呢？
平遥曾经是中国金融最繁华的地区，并在19至20世纪初成为了中国的金融中心地带。
The ancient city of Pingyao was once the busiest financial area in China. In 19th and early 20th century, it became the financial center of the country. So why was the draft bank originated here? 为什么票号会在这里诞生呢？
山西，尤其是山西中部地区，是连接中原与北方、东部与西部的重要区域，并且有不少商人在全国经营生意，那么他们有良好的商业基础。
Shanxi, especially in central Shanxi where Pingyao is located, is an important region connecting the central China with the north, the east, and the west. It has a good commercial foundation, and many businessmen operate their business all over the country.
在中国历史上，白银是重要的传统货币，但白银不便于携带，尤其对于需要大量资金周转的平遥商人来说。
Silver ingots were an important traditional currency throughout much of China's history. They were inconvenient to carry around, especially for Pingyao merchants who needed large amount of silver for trade purposes.
为了简化资金交易，清末出现了票号。这些票号提供了一个方案，商人可以将银锭存入票号，并获得一张汇票。这些汇票可用于在其他城市的票号分号提取银锭。
To streamline transactions, draft banks emerged as a solution in late Qing dynasty around the 1830s. These banks provided a system where merchants could deposit their silver ingots and receive a bill of exchange in return. These notes could then be used to withdraw silver ingots at other branches of the bank in different cities.
这里就是中国第一家票号日升昌，开创于1823年，是一家私人金融机构，是中国各式银行的乡下祖父。
We are now at the first draft bank in China. 日升昌, a private financial institution established in 1823. It is often referred to as the countryside grandfather of various banks across the country. How did it operate in ancient times? Let's step inside and find out more.
Bygone.
在这个里面，我们就可以看到200年前票号里面的工作和他们的生活场景。你看，在这边，工作人员在给客户称银锭。
Inside 日升昌, we can catch a glimpse of the work and life scenes of the draft bank from 2 centuries ago. This was the counter hall, comparable to today's business hall of a bank. As you can see, the staff is weighing silver ingots. So this is the currency used by Chinese people at that time. How much does it weigh? 那这些就是古代人们用的货币，它大概有多重呢？
咱们到这边来看一下吧。
Please follow us.
我让您来感受一下，这是当时候的1两，看看跟你想象的一样不一样。但是现在的1两是50克，当年达不到50克，您试一下。
So this is 1 liang, and nowadays 1 liang equals 50 grams, but in ancient time it's less than 40 grams. In fact, it's a bit heavier than I thought. What business that do they offer here? 这边还开展什么业务呢？
它主要经营的是银两的异地汇兑、存款、放款，包括还有理财等。
Like many functions of modern banks, they offer remote exchange, deposit, withdrawal, lending, and financial management, and so on. I have another question. So the currency, silver was widely used as currency in ancient times, so there must be a lot of silver ingots stored here. How did 日升昌 secure this large amount of silver ingots? 古代的时候，我们用银子作为货币，那么肯定有很多的银锭储存在这边。日升昌又是怎么确保这些银锭的安全的呢？
我带您去看一下当时候藏银子的地方吧。
Follow us to the inner room of the counter hall to look. This is the reception room and also where the draft bank stores the silver ingots. Here, in this room, is it safe? 这会不会有点不安全啊？
按照正常的逻辑来讲的话，外面是办理业务的，然后这边是人来人往，觉得不太安全。但是当年的票号就是反其道而行，他们认为最危险的地方，也就是最安全的地方。所以我来看一下。这个角度来，这边可以看一下。
Silver ingots. Large amount of silver ingots. 这就是当时藏银子的地方吗？Was it the place where the silver ingots was hidden?
对，这就是当时候藏银子的地方。或许有些人会觉得不太安全，但是当时候它还是有一些方法来去掩盖一下。比如我们在这边可以看到，它在上面会铺一层木板，木板上面放些煤、烧火工具、柴火之类的，人们就会以为这个地方是一个煤坑，并没有想到这里竟是藏金重地。
Right next to the heatable earth bed is a basement, which serves as the bank's vault. During the day, the lower cover is securely locked, with some firewood and ashes placed on the top, while the upper part is also covered. People wouldn't expect there to be an underground vault. That's truly out of expectation. 这还挺让人意外的。But I have another question. Nowadays, we have a lot of measures in place to to ensure the safety of our money. But in ancient times, if I pick up a bill of exchange on the street, could I withdraw money, withdraw silver ingots? 现在呢，我们有很多手段来确保我们资金安全。那在古代的时候，如果我在街上捡到一张汇票，我能兑出钱来吗？
咱们到外面来看一下吧。
Right. Let's go this way, please.
1823年，在清朝的道光年间，然后它这个地方的排出
这个就是当时候的防伪措施。所以像刚才您说的，捡到一张汇票纸，然后直接兑出来，这个可能性是比较低的。
So the likelihood to withdraw silver ingots with a bill of exchange that doesn't belong to you is the likelihood is very, very low. Could you tell us more about the identification approach? 您能再给我们展开讲讲吗？
好的，来我们看一下，这是一套假密押。实际上我们在看的时候，好像是一首古诗一样，它其实是在告诉小伙计一定要谨慎，那么也要告诫世人切莫去造假。那么咱们如果分开来看的话，看一下第一部分，谨防假票冒取，勿忘细事书章，12个字代替的是一年当中的12个月份。
So it looks like a traditional Chinese poem, but it appears to be a reminder to the staff at the bank to be careful and to warn the world against counterfeiting. But in fact, it's a set of codes. Let's take a look at the 12 Chinese characters on the right. They represent 12 months of the year. For example, this is the 6th character, so it represents June.
第二部分，从堪笑事情薄到最后的到头必分明，5、6是30天，一个月当中的30天。
These 30 characters in the middle represent 30 days of the months. In ancient China, lunar calendar was used, which features months with a maximum of 30 days. So there isn't a 31st day.
第3部分和第4部分，这2部分都是数字1到10。
These 10 characters and those 10 characters represent 1 to 10.
最后一部分国宝流通，计量单位万千百两。
These 4 characters respectively represent 10,000, 1,000, 100, and 1两。
但是这些密码它并不是一成不变的，它在不定期的去更换这样的一些密码。
The codes are not remain unchanged, they are changed regularly. This system was a clever way to integrate timekeeping into security measures. And what about other anti-counterfeiting measures regarding the bill of exchange? 那这套防伪系统真的就是密码真的很完善。那还有什么其他的防伪措施吗？就是汇票的防伪措施。
有的，日升张票号的防伪措施是非常的缜密的。我们过来看一下，当时候汇票纸上面所体现出来的这种防伪措施。首先我们可以看到的是当时候的印章防伪，它有非常精美的一些雕刻印章来作为一种防伪措施。其次的话就是它的笔记防伪，利用汇票纸先生所书写特有的笔记作为一种防伪。其次的话就是我们要看到的当年非常非常先进的水印防伪措施，我们来看一下，看到了吗？4个角上有字，这是一个昌字，生、昌、济4个大字，这是当时候的防伪。那么比较成功的还有就是刚才给您介绍的这种密押防伪，汉字密押，一般书写在汇票纸的背面，背书，这就是当时候的。
Those measures were exceptionally meticulous. There are watermarks on the paper. When the draft is held against the light, we can see the watermarks of Chinese characters, 日升昌记, on the 4 corners of the paper. The bank assigned specific individuals for writing. And the bank engraves well-crafted seals with exquisite designs, and they would be stamped onto various bills. These measures were really ahead of its time. 这些措施还真的是非常领先于时代。
外面现在还有一位信房先生写汇票纸，咱们出去看一下吧。
So there's an old man in the court who is writing a bill of exchange. Let's go and take a look.
晚上的啊，来，你过来翻译翻译啊。
看一下汇票纸，再看一下。
看，
Now he's writing my name.
你看，这是我的签名，贾卫新。
And this is his name with his he's featured with his own style and signature.
今年是甲辰的龙年，甲辰年龙年。
Now he's
2月 18
writing the date.
平邑，它是平遥。
And the location.
这个是密码，啊，也叫倍数。
He's writing the code.
你们看这个铜字像不像个元宝呢？这个铜字像不像元宝？
So the last, can I take a look at here? So the last one looks like a silver ingot. Thanks so much for the bill of exchange. So how large was the scale when Shanxi dropped banks during their peak period? 那我们山西票号在鼎盛时期规模有多大呢？
咱们到里面看一幅图吧。票号发展初期，它的分号主要是分布在长江中下游等这些商业贸易重地。但是到了后期的话，我们鼎盛时期全国票号达到51家，山西省就有43家。
In the early development of draft banks, sub-draft banks located largely in economically advanced areas such as the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River. However, with Shanxi's Jinzhong city as the center, hundreds of branch offices radiated across the country, extending as far north as Kiata and as far south as Haikou in South China's Hainan province, as well as west to Urumqi in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, and east to Shanghai and East China's Jiangsu and Zhejiang provinces. Over more than 100 years, a total of 51 draft banks were established nationwide, with Shanxi alone having 43.
这边我们看到的是票号分支机构及家属，每家票号根据他们自身的条件以及擅长的领域来去经营，分号遍布全国各地，甚至已经走出了国外，远至日本、新加坡、印度、朝鲜等国家都有当时我们所设立的分号。
Each bank had its unique focus of operation based on its specific conditions. This resulted in the distribution of the bank's branch offices not only throughout China but also internationally, with branches established in countries like Japan, DPRK, Singapore, and Kolkata in India. It indeed deserves the title of Wall Street of the Qing dynasty in China. 这里确实配得上是清代华尔街的称号。那今天非常感谢耿导给我们带来精彩的讲解。
不客气，不客气。
With the end of China's last imperial dynasty, the Qing dynasty, the draft banks gradually disappeared. But the wisdom of Pingyao merchants still influences many people in the country, which is one reason why Pingyao, a 2,800-year-old city, is so appealing to the world. Welcome to China to discover more of its untold history and stories. That's all for today's Xinhua Live. Thanks for watching. I'm Xinhua correspondent Jiang Haoran, and see you next time.